All right, we're live.
We are live. How's it going, Eric?
Yeah, it's going good. It's been uh it's been a lot of long days of getting
Yeah,
shit
yep.
done. Yeah.
That's
Uh-huh.
what I hear. That's what I
Yep.
hear. So, guys,
You're muted. It's your mute button. I'm not sure what happened to Tellman. He had his mute button on, and I think he's probably logged off and will be coming right back to join us. But yeah, going good here. I've been super busy and productive the past month has been just an incredible push forward of like really getting shit done a lot. And yeah, haven't been getting much sleep, so that's been a challenge. And yeah, I've been kind of just like adjusting to getting up early in the morning, and I've got that part down, but yeah, I'm still getting to sleep like late at night, that's the struggling part, because yeah, I'm like getting 4 or 5 hours of sleep a night instead of 8, and it's been that way for the past like maybe 4 or 5 weeks. So yeah, it's adding. Tellman, are you there?
am I here? Can you hear me?
You're there. You're on that side now. All right.
Hallelujah. I am
Yeah,
on this side now.
you had your mute button on. I think that
No,
was all.
it was something weird happened. I have like
Okay.
500 tabs open today.
Oh
And
shoot.
I think there was something weird that happened with one of the competing tabs in my mic and StreamYard. So, lesson, don't have 500 tabs open when you live stream. There's a little lesson for you about getting shit done.
Duly noted. Yeah, I have a hard time with tabs, and yeah, my everything's open always. So good to know.
So Eric, I know you've been struggling with sleep.
Yeah, I was just talking about sleep and
Yep.
lack of it.
Cool. We'll talk
Yep.
about sleep here for a second.
Yeah.
But before we do, I want to say, guys, this is a entrepreneurial productivity AMA for getshitdone.com. And if you are a solopreneur, if you're an entrepreneur, if you're a serialpreneur, serial entrepreneur, and or a business owner with a team, you're looking to get yourself more productive, you're looking to get your team more productive, you want to be doing the things that make money for the business, that really make a big difference, then tune in to Get Shit Done. If you have any questions that you're struggling with right now in your life, in your personal life, in your business life, as it relates to getting shit done, to being more productive, I strongly encourage you to respond in the comments below on the platform that you're watching this video on. We are currently live streaming to 8 different locations and would love to hear from each and every one of you with any questions you might have. Now, we have some common questions about productivity that Eric's going to be firing my direction, but do your best to translate those too, Eric, into your own personal situations as a growing entrepreneur, as a solopreneur, as a network marketer, learning internet marketing and all the skills.
Yep.
Where are you getting stuck? What are you having a hard time with? And I'll do my best to point you and our incredible viewers and listeners in the right direction. I do want to say that for those of you who are tuning in from all around the world, I even got a question from my assistant this morning who lives in Mauritius on the other side of the world, Marie, and she wanted to know how things were going in Vermont because Vermont's been in the news everywhere, major floods in Vermont. I got a picture this morning of Okemo Ski Mountain, which is only about an hour from here, and like buildings are underwater. We got really lucky where I live,
Wow.
and just a
Wild.
few roads got washed out.
Yep.
We haven't had major damage, but I guess a lot of Vermont got devastated. So
Yeah. You know, the other day when we were live streaming, you mentioned it was raining really hard. I was like, oh, huh, okay. But then, yeah, I saw it in the news. It was like the top headline, and it was like second to only the Great Flood of Vermont in 1927.
That's right. That's
Yeah.
right. So lots of water up here in Vermont right now, but we're bailing ourselves out one bucket at a time. We like to get shit done up here in New England, if you know what I mean. So cool. Well, let's dive in, guys. If you have any questions about getting shit done as an entrepreneur, as a marketer, either practical, tactical questions, maybe it relates to email marketing, direct response, headlines, sales letters, funnels, etc., or maybe it's a little bit more greater entrepreneurial in nature. Hit me with your questions in the comments. We'll do our best to answer them today if you're live, and if you write them in later, we will answer them in upcoming videos. So, Eric, what's up? What questions do you want to ask?
Let's see. So, how do you get more shit done in less time? Like,
Great.
Yeah, I'd love to hear some of your big secrets on productivity.
Yeah. So I'll tell you one really great way to get shit done. So the key is, you know, in hypnosis, or money mindset thinking for entrepreneurs in general, I really encourage people to use the anxiety compass. And the anxiety compass is when you think about doing something in your business, or you think about working on something, it gives you anxiety because you are afraid of failure, you're afraid of success, you're afraid of something, and you're afraid of doing that thing and something bad happening, right? That is a clear indication that it matters. Okay. It's a clear indication that you have an emotional response to it. And that's your heart. That's your emotional center trying to get your attention. Unless it's going to put your life in immediate danger or someone else's life in immediate danger, generally speaking, go toward that feeling, not away from it. And the same is true of the things that you know you procrastinate on. Okay. We all have them. All of us. I'm better at it than ever before, but still, I procrastinate on doing the dishes like crazy, and I don't even realize that I'm doing it. These days, I have a house. I have 2 kids half time, right? And I'm responsible for all the household chores and trying to get my kids to do sometimes. And so I had a lifelong habit of procrastinating on the dishes, and lo and behold, I'm learning how to deal with that. And one way to deal with this, if there are things that you let build up, if there are things you procrastinate on for days, it might be emptying the garbage, it might be your mail, it might be clearing out your voicemail box, it might be clearing out your email inbox, it might be paying your bills, it might be, you know, doing your bookkeeping, it might be making your bed, it might be cleaning your room, it might be, you know, doing your Facebook lives every day, right? Like there are all these things that that we have, and the list will never end. Okay, if you're aware that you're procrastinating on something, you will be procrastinating on something the rest of your life. So you have to realize, like, there's a love-hate relationship. When you realize you're procrastinating something, that's probably the thing you need to master. You need to go for it. You need to make it routine, and then you need to make it automatic in your life. So you do it automatically, or it gets done well automatically. So it doesn't have to be a drain on you for the rest of your life. So the 9-minute rule is great for things like the dishes or the mail or your voicemail or whatever. Is put on a timer for 9 minutes and do as much as you can in that 9 minutes. And what happens is when you do as much as you can for 9 minutes is you get on a roll in that time in most cases. And by the time the 9-minute alarm goes, you could bug out and you could just not worry about it. But then you're like, oh, I just have 5 more dishes to do. Let me finish this up. And you start strengthening your finisher muscle. Okay, you start strengthening your consistency muscle every time that you do that. So choosing to do those things that you procrastinate on for small increments of time as quickly as you can, it gets you in motion, it gets tons of stuff done, and it gets you ready to move on to the next thing. If you're more ADD and easily distracted, you can use these small segments of time in order to jumpstart you, to get you going. And then when we switch after that 9 minutes, we switch because we're trying to intentionally distract ourselves to another productive activity before our mind wanders and before our actions wander, when we lose self-awareness about what we're doing. We're off in la la land. You don't want to switch.
Right.
That alarm helps you to switch. So switching gears purposefully often is a very helpful way for me to get more done in less time. But there are some other things too. They're pretty simple, but when I do them, they work. Okay. Number one, bulletproof coffee every morning, period. End of story. Okay. Number two, take my vitamins first thing every morning. I have 4 or 5 vitamins. I'm not a supplement freak, though I have been at different times in my life. It's like a really good multivitamin, vitamin D, vitamin B complex, and some magnesium, potassium, or something like that. I try to take those with like an electrolyte mixture to help me get hydrated, right? Exercise every day. You usually start sleeping well at night. And lately I've been using lion's mane, and that's been great to improve my memory and my mental focus. That's been really good. So those are some immediate things that you can do right away in order to increase your focus and productivity.
Cool. Awesome. Yeah, those are great suggestions.
You want to ask about your sleep?
Yeah, let's talk about sleep. Let's see. Yeah, I mean, is that something that's ever come up for you in your journey with entrepreneurship?
So
what's that?
So hypno
Yep.
means sleep.
Oh, does it? Okay.
Okay. And hypnosis is the state between being awake and asleep.
Right.
When I was a child, I had night terrors. Do you know what night terrors are?
Not specifically, but I can imagine it involves like waking up like with a fright.
Yeah, not quite. It
Not
involves
quite. Okay.
kind of waking up. Like imagine the worst nightmare you've ever had in your entire life.
Yeah.
Your physical body wakes up, but your mind does not. Whoa. So when you open your eyes, you can see the physical world, but it's all like overlaid with your nightmare experience.
Oh my God.
Nightmare experience, what you're seeing, what you're hearing, and what you're feeling is more real than the physical world.
Wow.
You're awake and you're still terrified. The nightmare doesn't stop.
Wow.
It is terrible. Okay. Night terrors suck. And I had
Does
them as
it
a
only
kid
happen with nightmares?
What?
Does it only happen with nightmares, or could you have a good dream and you wake up and it's like that?
Never happened to me.
Okay.
I mean, the only way that has happened to me is through like astral projection and lucid dreaming and doing that consciously and purposefully as an adult. But as a kid, I never had any like I don't know, night heavens.
Right.
Something.
Yeah, I guess they call it a night terror for a reason.
Yeah, it's called night terror for a reason. It'll fuck you up. And so, and then I also was a sleepwalker. And so I was a pretty like stressed out, nervous, intense little kid, and had a lot of stuff I was dealing with. And so I ended up getting interested in hypnosis partially because I was like wanted to understand all that stuff, and had a terrible time sleeping until around the time I became a hypnotist.
All right.
At some point in college, where I started studying this stuff, I started getting a degree of control and hold over my brainwaves and my brainwave patterns. But before that, it was just like I had a hard time, right? And when you sleep, when you're having a hard time lately in the last month with sleep,
Yeah.
what are you going to sleep, or are you just not falling asleep? Are you waking up multiple times? Like, what's going on?
My body wants to naturally stay up till like at least 1 in the morning, if not 2. Yeah, and then waking up early for, live streams or for the Thursday Q&A call, which is quite a bit earlier.
Yep.
Yeah, so just like I don't know where sleep fits into that schedule. I've been trying to take, afternoon naps, but they don't always happen. I'll kind of lay there, but it's not like maybe sleep a little bit, but I'm not really able to get a deep sleep in the middle of the day, usually, sometimes, but it's rare. So yeah, it's been kind of my pattern is go to bed late, wake up early, and work all all the space in between.
Do you actively meditate?
Mm,
Meaning, are you meditating in your life right now?
lately, I've been trying to work that in, and not regularly, but more often lately. When I first wake up, I'll just lay in bed and just have space. And yeah, I'm finding that to be hugely beneficial. I'll have a lot of really good ideas come to me that wouldn't otherwise. In the past, I've just woken up and immediately opened my phone,
Right.
and it just bombards your consciousness immediately with all kinds of clutter.
Right.
Whereas, yeah, having that empty space first thing in the morning,
Yeah.
yeah, it really allows some good stuff to come through that otherwise just wouldn't.
For sure. For sure.
Yeah.
So one thing that I would suggest is, do you only meditate sitting up, or do you meditate laying down?
I tend to meditate laying down. I just find it's more comfortable.
Yeah, I meditate laying down almost exclusively.
Yeah, too.
So like try scheduling in daily meditation for an hour.
All right. Yeah.
Do it laying down
Yeah,
and
I'll try that.
fall asleep if you want. Just set an alarm for whatever
Okay.
time you really need to be up for. Maybe
Yep.
you'll find that you can meditate for half an hour and then drift off to sleep in the middle of the day instead of just trying to go straight for a nap.
Yeah, I'll try that. It's a good idea.
It'll definitely rejuvenate you more than a half-ass nap. Like a half hour of meditation will definitely rejuvenate you more than an hour-long half-ass nap, you know?
Yeah. Yep.
Are you taking any sleep supplements?
I have in the past. I was taking like melatonin, and that definitely gets me to sleep, but oftentimes I find like I kind of feel like hungover the next day, and I'm still like really tired. But yeah, a while back I was having sleep difficulties for, different reasons. I was just having trouble sleeping like at night. Um, yeah, it didn't have anything that was, waking me up in the morning that I had to be present for. So it was like, yeah, so I tried taking the melatonin, and yeah, that got me to sleep. But yeah, I was just really tired a lot during the day. I feel like over time I kind of adjusted to it and it worked, but yeah, I don't know. I've tried that
Yeah,
one. I'm not sure if
maybe
there's.
try melatonin and or some other supplements to see, because there's more than melatonin out there to help with sleep,
All
right?
right.
Just to help
Yeah.
jumpstart you into it. And then we had talked the other day about me activating the sleep switch for you. So like
Oh,
I
right.
haven't
Yeah.
done that yet. So we should do that so you can listen to it. It
Yeah.
really helps some
That'd be
people
that.
a lot.
Okay,
So
cool.
if it, like I will do that after this session. If you don't see it, let me know.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool. All right. Well, guys, we're going to do a few more marketing, productivity, entrepreneurial questions here. But if you have any questions about productivity and getting shit done as a digital entrepreneur, please ask it in the comments below. Say hi. Let us know you're here if you're watching. And Eric, what's our next question?
Let's see. What are some ways to make extra money without having to work longer hours? So if you have any hacks on that, I'd love to hear.
Yeah, well, if you're working a job, then what you do is you work a job that pays you more money per hour. So I know it sounds silly, but the number of people that I know in their 40s that have gone through a series of jobs in their life, and I ask them, what do they look for in a new job, or when they're thinking about a new job? These are friends, and more often than not, like they don't require a 10% raise whenever they get a new job. And I'm just like, dude, if you're going to get a job and you're going to get a new job, never accept a job that pays the same amount as the job you're leaving. Always
Right.
require yourself to take an upgrade. Like, that's a simple way to, assuming you have more than one job throughout your life, it's a simple way to start making more money per hour, right? I know it's a silly thing, but with that said, again, if you're working a job, is seek out the companies that inspire you, seek out the companies that produce products or services that you love to use. All right. So that produce food that you love to eat, that produce pants that you love to wear, that, you know, that the local companies that do cool things, whatever they are. Maybe it's your local dentist and your dentist is awesome and you really want to work for the local dentist and you have no credentials. And so you're going to apply to be a front desk assistant, whatever. But if you go after positions and working with companies that you really genuinely love and you want to be part of, and you write a letter about why you want to work for that company, when you submit your resume and ask if they have any applications opening and ask that the owner see your letter, like the level of enthusiasm that brings for a business owner is so heartwarming. When you are a business owner and you've spent your life building this business and you have a bunch of ungrateful ass employees who don't really want to be there as much as you wish they wanted to be there. And all of a sudden you get like a letter from somebody that says, I love what you guys do. I love, or maybe your employees are great. Maybe your employees are totally awesome and totally happy. Either way, you get a letter and it's like, I love what you guys do. You have great blah, blah, blah. And I really would like to work for you. I take any position you have available, but this is what I prefer. Like that is going to the top of the list. If there's a hire to be made, that's going to the top of the pile. And so take your income into your own hands in terms of your hourly fee and doing something that you love with people that you love, right? Like that's how you become more productive instead of having to slog through shit that you hate. Do things that give you energy, like where you actually deserve to get paid more because you're putting more juice in. That makes a difference, right? So that's true with jobs, but it's also true within jobs within your own business and the hats that you choose to wear or not to wear as an entrepreneur in the business and the founder of the business. And so in terms of making more money for the time that you're spending in the business, the way you do that is with leverage, right? And there are so many different ways to get leverage. One of the best ways to get leverage is in many areas as possible, one at a time in your business, go from one-to-one to one-to-many. And so one-to-one could happen in the marketing department, could happen in the sales department, where how is the sale made? Is it always made one-to-one? Like one person talks to one person accepts payment at a cash register from another person, and that's the one cash register that the business has. And all the money goes through that one little spot? Or is it one-to-many? Maybe you have an online store and as many people that want to can order all at the same time, right? So when we are a healer, a therapist, a speaker, often, or, if you work with people one-on-one in some capacity as a consultant, going one-to-many in your marketing means rather than just going to like BNI meetings and doing one-on-one consults to get business, you're going to build a website to build your email list and do a daily or weekly podcast and start really start growing that email list and sending out emails to that list on a regular basis. So your communications are no longer limited just to one-on-one conversations. So going one to many in your marketing and your sales communications is leverage. Another example of leverage is going from one to many in your product or service that you're offering. And so if you're only offering a product or service that can be fulfilled one-on-one, maybe you could write a book on that. And that's now one to many. Or maybe you can create a digital home study program or a course on that. Now that's one to many, right?
Okay, totally. Yep.
So if you can go from one to many and focus on learning your skills to go one to many, that's how you get leverage. So, it's Jesse. Hey, Jesse. I guess Jesse might be a friend of yours, Eric. Jesse Brown.
Hey, how's it going?
Cool. So, that's the basic deal is leverage. Is you need to be able to get more work done in less time through leverage. Another example of leverage, and usually this is slow and steady, but proven, is building a team, right? Build a team of people so you're not doing all the work yourself, but you have hopefully a well-organized team of the right people who are working together synchronously in order to make a lot more money in the business and be much more successful in the business than you ever could be as a one-man or one-woman show.
Totally. Yep. Exactly. Cool. Yeah, those are all great suggestions. Yeah, I've definitely been enjoying the support I've been getting from my team we've run into a couple of snags with the webinars, but we're working it out. And what that looks like is involving additional team members. Yep.
Cool. So now you're the leader.
Yeah, right. Because nothing would be happening if I wasn't pushing to make it happen. So I guess that does make me the leader. Yeah.
Yep,
it
sure does.
It was falling to the wayside otherwise.
That's right. Well, welcome to the party. That's how it works. Right.
Cool.
That's cool. It's cool. Cool, man. Well, do you have any other questions for today that you want to go over?
Yeah. Do you ever feel like putting things off? Let's talk about how to stop procrastinating and get shit done.
Yeah. So the answer is I put stuff off all the time. Yep. I mean, there's intentional procrastination and then there's negligence.
Okay.
Here's the deal. The cure for procrastinate, it sounds so cheesy. I just made this up. But the cure for procrastination is prioritization. Okay?
Yeah,
like it's a fact. It's a lot of syllables.
You could make a t-shirt.
The cure for procrastination is prioritization, but just prioritizing something isn't enough. You have to prioritize it and schedule it in. So first you have to prioritize the things that are most important. Then you have to schedule in when you're going to do them. And then you have to commit to someone or something outside of yourself that you're going to do them, and then you do them. Okay. And honestly, that's what the entire Get Shit Done system is all about. And the community that we're building is we're building a community of entrepreneurs that can help each other to be accountable to themselves and to each other, even though they're not in each other's companies. They're all founders of their own companies and their own businesses. So if having that type of accountability team is interesting to you, go over to getshitdone.com, check it out, and tell us what you think. Dude, you want to hear something like really dumb?
Yeah, let's hear it.
Okay, you want to talk about get shit dumb? Here it is. So a week ago, I made a variant squeeze page. Less copy, put it up, activated it. I'm like, we're not getting that many opt-ins. That's a bummer. What's going on? Right? Half the traffic that was going to getshitdone.com did not opt in because there was no form that I ever saved successfully on the variation.
Oh, no.
Yeah. So it's just, I've been doing this for 20 years, dude. 20 years. And that's not, that was just like a stupid oversight, like something didn't save or something. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe I did it too late at night and didn't like double check all my details.
Yep.
And so, speaking of which, one thing that I often get into trouble with is publishing too quickly before I've tested everything properly. And so you could
Right.
say
Okay.
that I procrastinate on testing things, and I do that because I often do things last minute. And so, like the last hour before the deadline is usually my most productive hour, and like that's annoying. That only happens when I don't have time scheduled in to do the thing. By the way, that's only when I'm squeezing it in last minute. So, one way you can avoid that type of idiocy is you can hire someone on your team that's organized and detail oriented, highly consistent, high follow through, okay, highly reliable, and tell them to raise the alarm every time they hear about a new thing that's being released and it hasn't been tested yet. And they're the tester, right? That's their job, is to find out when something needs to be tested, to have the wherewithal to be paying attention on morning meetings so that like they hear about it when it happens, and then to test that thing, and to get like become part of the process to test that thing. So that's an example of a task that's really important. In this case, I can probably recover that missing opt-in data, but still it's a pain in the butt that none of
Right.
those
Okay.
people got the initial welcome email or anything, right?
Yep.
And it's just the deal. So what I encourage you to do is do your best to schedule those things in, schedule them in on repeat, get yourself some time set aside to do them, and do all of those pain in the butt, difficult things that you want to avoid. Do them all first thing in the morning. Okay, after you've had your half hour or hour long focus wake up time and get really clear on what you're doing for the day or whatever, like then take the first 2 hours, 3 hours of your morning and just crank on the hard stuff. Okay,
Right.
just crank on the hard stuff, and then save the stuff that you really love doing and that gives you tons of energy for a little bit later in the day. And you know that's a great way to get a lot more done and to bypass a lot of that procrastination issue. If you find that you have things that you still just refuse to do and won't do, hire someone to do them as soon as you possibly can, because that's a reality for a lot of people a lot of the time. I have those things. I try not to have those things that when I notice myself avoiding something, I try to lean into it and be like, okay, Tellman, this is another opportunity to be more mature, like level
Yep.
up here, right?
Right.
Yet I still fall prey to not always wanting to do those things that I feel incompetent at, that don't make me feel good about myself, that I already know I stink at, so we all have that stuff.
Right. Sure. Yep. Cool. Um, yeah, you're touching a bit on, having a network of accountability, right? And yeah, I guess like I was wondering, so like yesterday, was it yesterday? Yesterday, you weren't feeling good, right? You didn't want to do the live stream. And I was like, yeah, no, sure, no problem. Let's do it tomorrow instead. Would you prefer that I hold you accountable and say, no, we got to do a live stream?
These are good. This is a good point, and I was curious how you were going to react to that, but it wasn't a test.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to feel it out.
Yeah.
One thing is like if you're working with somebody and teamed up with somebody and they consistently don't show up or don't show up on time and they're constantly making excuses,
Yep.
like that, you got to watch out for that. Right.
Yeah, sure. Totally.
In my case, like I ended up sweating like a beast all night. I think I sweat something out. Like I was definitely like fighting off an infection or something.
Right.
And felt terrible. Physically, could I have done it? Yes. But so if I was like, I'm live streaming 7 days a week, no matter what, for 77 days, and that was the challenge that we were doing together or something, that would be a little different.
Okay, sure,
But
totally.
right now it's like, hey, we're live streaming 4 days a week, you know? And why aren't we doing it 7 days a week? No particular reason other than we're doing it 4 days a week. We're not doing it on the weekends. We're not doing it on Email Empire Q&A day, you know?
Right.
And we're doing it in order to create content, plenty of content for our short form videos as well. We're not strictly just doing it because we want to live stream every day, right?
Exactly.
And so right now we're live streaming to create content for the other traffic sources, and we're succeeding at that also, right? Like we're putting out TikTok videos at TikTok. If you go to TikTok and you do getshitdone.com at TikTok, you can follow us there. As a matter of fact, I'll just type that into the comments for you guys.
Yeah,
go follow us on TikTok.
Said it, but it's getshitdone.com on TikTok. Yeah, no, that makes sense what you said. Yeah, because it's like when it comes to myself, more often than not, when it comes to doing live streams, I don't necessarily feel up to it most of the time. Sometimes I definitely do. I've been, like I was saying, really struggling with sleep. I feel exhausted a lot of the time lately. So yeah, it's been challenging. But yeah, for me, I'll do it no matter what. And I have committed to doing live streams every day, like my own solo live streams every single day, no matter what. And yeah, I had a couple of days ago where it was like one of the most challenging times ever. I was just fully exhausted, and like more so than usual. And I still did the live stream. So yeah, I was just kind of like, I don't know, should I be holding Tillman as accountable as I hold myself, or like, yeah. So I wanted to have a conversation about that.
Yeah, I think, maybe yes and maybe no,
Right.
Like, I guess one of the reasons that I talk about accountability a lot is because I find all sorts of excuses and ways of wiggling out of shit, like left to my own devices, so like I have to find different ways of keeping myself on point, and showing up for other people is one of them. Like I think I missed one, I don't know, like doing weekly webinars for my clients, for my paying clients, and doing Q&As. Like I can show up every single week for years to do that, showing up most of the time for morning meetings at 7 a.m. or 9 a.m. decades. You know what I mean? Like I'm really good at showing up for doing webinars. If I'm going to do a webinar for somebody, I'm going to show up early, like,
totally. Right.
And so I really would encourage you guys. Oh, I guess I don't know if that first link I put in will work. I'm going to put in this other one. So yeah, if you guys want to follow us on TikTok, that'd be awesome. But I mean, at the end of the day, we can decide, like, if we're like, oh, we're deciding to do this 4 days a week, no matter what. And if for some reason we can't live stream on time, then how do we handle that?
Sure. Right. Okay.
Do we do it before midnight, no matter what? Or do we each get like one free pass per month if we like are too tired or something comes up? I mean, I'm going to have kids stuff come up when school starts again, and the schedule will have to change and all this kind of stuff. But I think we should decide together on how important is the schedule for the live stream, and how important is the like the parameters around it. In this case, what time we go live. Maybe we decide that we're going to go live at 1 p.m. Eastern, 7 days a week, every day sharp for a month, no matter what, and see how that affects our live stream views.
Okay.
For example, but like, so it's what is the commitment around? There is an issue around commitment, but you don't want to overcommit to something that's not going to get you where you want to go either.
True.
Yep. It can be a way to do a lot of work with no benefit.
Yeah. Yeah, that makes sense.
Cool.
Yeah, we can talk more about that.
Well, you're having all sorts of people here today, Eric. You also have Jade.
Oh, hey,
You know
Jade.
Jade?
Yeah. Do it when
Yeah,
you don't want to do it. That's right.
that's it. That's it.
Yeah, Jade was in the live stream challenge with me,
Oh,
and
cool.
yeah, with Helen Martin was facilitating. I think two of them now. We were both in together. I think that's where I met her first.
Nice. Do you
Yep.
have any other challenges you're going to be doing anytime soon?
Just my own.
Dude, here's the thing about challenges that I haven't done any, like I haven't taken part in any of the marketing challenges since the challenge phase really started craze.
Okay.
But I can tell you, like back in the day, I used to love competing in affiliate contests, both before I knew how to sell my own stuff and after I learned how to sell my own stuff. I would get competitive like crazy trying to win and beat people out just on principle. And, I wasn't mean or like nasty or something. I just get competitive. And at some point I stopped doing affiliate marketing because it's much more profitable just to sell your own stuff than it is to just promote other people's stuff all the time. And it dilutes your list and everything else. Right. And so I realized that this competitive nature I have, this competitive streak that I have, has helped me to make a lot of money in business. And I haven't really been using it so much in business because for the last many years, I've just been competing with myself, and I haven't been competing with myself aggressively. And so I've been trying to think about how I can really scratch the competitive obsession bug. And I think it's through challenges, probably both through taking some, doing some, and through launching some. And so if you have any challenges that you see that are coming up that you think we could both benefit from, definitely let me know, and we should do them together.
All right, cool. Yeah, I'll keep it in mind.
Yeah. We should run the Get Shit Done challenge sometime.
That's a great idea.
It'd be a good one.
Yep.
All right, cool guys. Well, I guess that's all for now.
Yeah. Oh, I got one last question.
Oh, you have last? Oh, do you? What's the last question?
You know what time it is?
It's time to get shit done.
That's right.
Right here. Right there. Not only is it time to get shit done, but the opt-in page works.
Well, that's good news. Yeah.
My God.
Yep.
Cool. Rock and roll. Well, that's all for now. We'll talk to you guys soon.
All right. Yeah, I'll see you guys later.
Great. Thanks, Eric. Get some sleep.
Yeah,
Take a rest. Do some meditation. Take some melatonin.
Yep.
I'll activate the sleep switch.
Sounds good.
Cool. Bye, guys.
See ya.